Doraemon put a small piece of steak into a seed capsule, then buried it in the soil. The next day, the seed had grown into a steak tree. Doraemon used scissors to cut off a sizzling piece of steak, then sliced it into 4 even portions. Everyone eagerly grabbed a piece with their forks and took a bite. The steak was so hot that everyone jumped up in pain. And yet, no one was willing to spit out that delicious Wagyu beef. The only problem was, each steak tree could only grow 1 steak at a time, and everyone was still craving more. Learning that they needed more space to plant more meat trees, Sunio didn't hesitate to offer up his backyard, and even brought out all kinds of meats his mom had collected. Seeing all that, Doraemon pulled out a big bag of seed capsules. Everyone worked together, putting pieces of meat into the capsules. Once everything was ready, they all went out to the yard. Shizuka planted a pork cutlet seed in the ground, where there was plenty of sunlight, which would make the cutlet crispier. Sunio and Doraemon went to a shaded spot, and planted beef offal. Under everyone's careful care, the little sprouts grew into a forest in just one afternoon, though the fruit wouldn't be ready until tomorrow. But something unexpected happened. A big storm was approaching. When Nobita arrived, he saw Sunio standing in the rain, putting supports on every single tree. Together, they set up windbreaks to protect the meat trees. The next day, the weather finally cleared. Having worked through the entire night, Nobita and Sunio were completely exhausted, but just thinking about the feast waiting for them, they found new energy. After school, everyone came to Sunio's house, and just as they'd hoped, every meat tree was covered in plump, juicy fruit. There were tender fried chickens and crispy pork cutlets. Just as they were enjoying the bountiful feast, John suddenly showed up at Sunio's house. He ate up all the meat in one go. Everyone was furious, but the moment John raised his fist, Sunio was too scared to say a word. With no other choice, everyone decided to plant again. So, Sunio brought in more meat dishes from all over the world. Nobita was about to get started when Sunio stopped him. Turns out he had a brilliant plan. The next day, John came to Sunio's house again, and saw only a brand new orchard, with a sign that read no entry. It turned out the 4 friends had secretly planted the real meat trees on the hill behind town. Right now, Nobita was pulling out a big skewer of roasted lamb, and enjoying it with delight. Doraemon was eating tender roasted duck. Sunio was happily chomping on a chicken leg, and Shizuka was having braised pork belly. One bite in her mouth, soft and melt in your mouth. On the other side, John ignored the warning sign, picked a meat fruit and stuffed it into his mouth. The next second, his face turned bright red from the heat. It turned out, Sunio had deliberately planted extra spicy fried chicken. The flavor was incredibly good, but the spiciness, almost no one could handle it.